Ridgefield is booming, and today we're talking about the most important developments coming up right now in Ridgefield, Washington. Hey, welcome back to the Living in Vancouver and Camas, Washington YouTube channel. I'm your host, Hannah Dubyne, and I'm so glad that you're here today because we are talking about the town of Ridgefield, Washington, and all things development, all the cool, fun, awesome projects that are coming up in this city. So if you're not aware of what Ridgefield, Washington is, Ridgefield is a suburb that's about 15 minutes north of Vancouver on the I-5. It's got a population of about 12,000, and for the longest time, Ridgefield was not really the place to live. You know, it was up on I-5, it wasn't close to all the main things in Vancouver. But over the last 10 years, it's really boomed and it's seen a lot of progress and development, and now it's the spot to live. So we're gonna talk about 5 of the major developments coming up. And when I say developments, I don't necessarily just mean housing developments, I mean everything community-wide. So stay tuned for my top 5 things and let's get into it. The first development I want you to have on your radar is that Ridgefield is getting a Costco. That's right. This was announced last summer and it was really exciting news. Of course, it was very well received because who doesn't like Costco? Everyone's got a Costco membership here. It is going to be located right next to I-5, so it's going to be a convenient spot even if you're just passing through. And I'm really excited for it because it's going to bring 300 to 400 new jobs to Ridgefield, which just means more growth. It's going to bring over $700,000 a year in tax revenue to the city. That's a big deal for a city of Ridgefield's size, so I'm excited to see what they do with that revenue. Right now, there is just one major grocery store in Ridgefield. It's Rosar's. So when Costco comes in, it's gonna bring more options to the people that live there. And of course, we're gonna get some cheaper gas. Right now, across the street, there's a Chevron right by I-5, and it's kind of on the more expensive side. So Costco, as we know, is gonna have better gas prices, and I'm excited for that as well. The second big development going on in Ridgefield right now is that there are so many new homes going up. I talk about this a lot here on the channel, that Ridgefield is a primarily new home community. Most of the homes there have been built in the last 20 years, but when I went on the permit site just the other day, as I was writing what I wanted to talk about in this video, I counted about 21 new home developments that are open permits right now. That's a lot for a city of Ridgefield's size. There's 12,000 people there and there's 21 new home communities, some of which are very large, going in right now. So the population is expanding rapidly. We have all of the big builders building up there right now, national builders like Lennar and D.R. Horton, who are not necessarily my favorite, but also great local builders like Pacific Lifestyle, Hope Homes, Polish Homes, Urban Northwest, lots of other small local builders. So everyone wants a piece of Ridgefield right now. In addition to that, something interesting I've seen over the last few years is that they're starting to build more on the east side. If you've been in Ridgefield before, you recognize that pretty much west of I-5 is where most of Ridgefield is. It's where most of the houses are, and it's where a lot of the commercial is. It's where old downtown Ridgefield was, or still is. But they are starting to build on the east side now. For example, there's a big neighborhood going in over there by Holt Homes. It's called Greenleaf Farms. So I'm excited to see how the east side transforms and what it shapes up to be. The third big development we have coming up in Ridgefield is a new elementary school. The city has this land plotted out for just east of I-5 off of Pioneer Street. If you're not familiar with Ridgefield, Pioneer Street is kind of the main street of Ridgefield. It takes you all the way through. It's a very important street. If it ever got shut down, no one would really be able to get anywhere. But yeah, the city's got this land reserved and the new elementary school is going to go there eventually. Unfortunately, the last bond that was voted on, which I believe was fall 2022, did not pass to start building this elementary school. Just barely though. They missed the vote by, I think it was 73 votes, which is unfortunate, but it's just a matter of time before that has to get passed because the schools are gonna overflow. Right now, there are only 2 elementary schools in Ridgefield, so a third elementary school, that means we're upping the elementary school count by 50%, so I'm really excited for that. The fourth big thing happening in Ridgefield right now is the Waterfront Development. I was just down here the other day, and I'm super excited for this one. It has taken them about 10 years to clean up this site because it used to be industrial, there's some things that weren't so good for the environment. So they literally took a decade to clean it up. Now the Port of Ridgefield is in charge of this endeavor, and they have expressed that they want it to be a community place, right? They don't just want it to be houses, and they don't just want it to be businesses. They want it to kind of be a mix of everything. So they plan to have office, residential, hotel, dining, local businesses, parks, walkways, enjoying nature, all of that, so that it's really a nice community gathering space. Just a couple years ago, Vancouver opened its new Waterfront Development in downtown Vancouver, which has been a huge hit. It's a great destination for both locals and people traveling in. The Port of Camas and 𝐂𝐿𝐒 is also working on a waterfront development, and Ridgefield is next up, so I'm excited to see what they do with it. The fifth big thing coming up in Ridgefield right now is that there are a whole bunch of new businesses going in. This is kind of my miscellaneous catch-all category, but it's a lot of important businesses that you're maybe used to if you come from a bigger city or a bigger town than 12,000 people. But for example, we have a new dental office going in on Pioneer Street right now. A YMCA will be coming in. We have Les Schwab Tires, who's planning on coming in. Discovery Ridge, which houses Rosar's, Mod Pizza, Starbucks, a whole bunch of other businesses right there, is expanding. If you live in Ridgefield, you probably go there all the time because that's one of the main shopping centers. So I'm excited to see what businesses they add there as well. So those are my top 5 developments coming up in Ridgefield. I'm excited to see what it does for the community and how it impacts the growth of the city and makes it a better place to live. And hey, if you are thinking about moving to Ridgefield or anywhere in Clark County, Washington, myself and my team at Dubyne Realty Group would love to be of service to you. So reach out to us via text, email, or DM us on Instagram, and we would love to get the conversation started. Also sign up for our weekend newsletter, Weekend Happenings with Hannah. We put out the best 4 to 5 events happening every single weekend so you can see what it's like to live here. And we will see you next week. Thanks for watching.